Hello, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the short delay. So tonight we are inviting our good friend Scott. He's going to be giving a talk on love. So he always brings some interesting perspectives and interesting topics, so I'm excited for the talk tonight. So shortly we'll be hearing from Scott. Before we move to the palestra, the talk, I'd like to invite everyone for a short prayer. So thank you all for joining us tonight. Let us all remember the reason why we're here, to take in new ideas, to have reminders of small things, small changes that we can adopt in our lives that lead to big changes and big transformations. All the challenges that we face, they can be overcome with a little bit more patience, understanding, love. All these small things that we can adopt that allow us to grow and to move forward and to progress. Let us be thankful so much for everything that we have around us, all the blessings, all the friends and family, all the support, our mentors. Let us remember all those good things that we have. Every day we move forward, we progress slowly, more and more each day, and those all lead to bigger changes. It allows us to set examples for others, to have an equilibrium when things don't work out, when others are going through challenging times as well. We can be there for them. And in turn, we help ourselves. And through this support, through this constant circle of progression and fraternity, we move forward. And we continually evolve individually and as a species on this planet. So embracing those ideas, embracing an open heart, we ask that we begin the talk of tonight. And so be it. Thank you. So again, tonight we have Scott Murphy, and here he is.
Thank you very much. Well, good evening. It's a topic I think everybody's familiar with and certainly can enjoy and connect with. And so we're going to have, navigate through love and some wonderful things. And obviously, the various forms of what makes up love, the characteristics of love, components, attributes of love, and how we can recognize those and act those regularly in our lives. So all that said, again, welcome, and let's get started. One of the things about love is, we all have it. It's all ours. We're born with it. We're born from love. We're born to love. And we'll be able to see that today. And then we're going to see a lot of the qualities of love that are in our lives. And we'll be able to, pull those out and bring those forward and continue to act those in our lives. But again, if we started as love, from love, to love, that's where we need to resonate. We need to be reminded of this from time to time. And here it is. That's who we are. That's what we're here to do. So tonight, we're not going to be getting into some, mastery of elevation and these kind of things that you need to have in order to, kind of deal with love, give love, receive love, all of these things, act love, think love. So for tonight, for today, let's just kind of break it down and understand, let's think about love in a way that makes us feel good, allows others to feel good. The ways we already know, our parents and, our upbringing and hugs and kisses and the way we feel, we can appreciate these things. So let's think of it in those ways, things that are part of our everyday life. So in the ways we already know, what love and care and appreciation, what those qualities really mean or feel and how we might go about that. So in ways we can explore more, learn more, maybe think a little bit deeper when it comes to love. And consistently be able to take action on love and all its various forms. And so when we think about love, we think about love between two people, and I love my pets and they love, these kind of things. Some people love their cars and their jets and their, the beach and all these other things. And we understand this. But we're going to kind of push, move those things aside, and we're going to hone in on, not just a loved one, not just your other, not just your significant other, husband or wife or child, brother, sister, uncle, friend. We're going to kind of, make sure we understand the grand scheme and all the key attributes and components of love that we exercise regularly or we should be, and how to recognize those, and really have them be part of our lives on a regular basis. So, let's start with the grand theme. Our beloved Jesus, love one another. Can't get any simpler than that. Love one another. What are we saying here? Love one another means everyone to love everyone. Let's just be clear about what this is. All right? Let's see. A soul cannot elevate itself to a high spiritual realms until, except only by the devotion, love, by the devotion to others, devotion to one's fellow creatures, others. And to be very clear, the soul, you, your spirit, yourself, your true self, okay? So it continues here. So it, or your soul, yourself, you, will not find happiness and consolation except in charitable impulses. And so charitable impulses, giving to others, helping others, this is an attribute of love. This is a characteristic of love. And so we can understand that. But love one another, everyone to love everyone. That's the goal. And we can attain happiness only when we can learn to master this, true happiness, until devotion, let's replace that word, love of others. Now, let's just kind of lighten it up a little bit. All right, so love consists of a lot of different things that you might not readily think about. Characteristics of love: kindness, compassion, empathy, charity, okay, beneficence, benevolence. All right, what about these other four down here? Cooperation, right? Participation, tolerance, acceptance. We don't really think about that. How is this love? How is this love? How is this a property of love, a characteristics of love? Well, it's because if you're cooperating and you're in harmony with the whole, trying to achieve the good and elevate and always trying to be helpful and kind and useful, there's a participation that you must have in this component. You have to cooperate, in a kind and friendly manner. You're tolerating others. We know about this tolerance and acceptance, so this is a big deal. We've talked about this before, is, how other acts and how others act and how they do what they do. We have to allow them to be them, but we can't criticize and judge. So again, it's tolerance, acceptance. We have to participate. We have to be present. We have to cooperate. We have to harmonize, be kind, be compassionate. All of these things. There's 100 words, 1,000 words in every single language that are characteristics of love. So today we're just going to find a few, right? We're going to rattle them around a little bit so we can understand that the way we act, we have the tools to act in accordance and alignment with love. Why do we need to do that? Because we are love. We're born from love, right? We're grown from love. We have love in ourselves. And we'll talk about things that come out of the teachings here of Spiritism about the key and the love implanted in our hearts. And it doesn't matter whether you're tall or short or from here or from there. Every single one of us have the sacred fire of love inside of us. Let's continue. Love one another. The law of love, according to the gospel, love is divine essence for everyone. Everyone has this. Everyone. The most humble to the most elevated. Okay? Has a spark of this sacred fire in the bottom of their hearts. Continuing. It is many times proven fact that everyone, whether good, bad, vile, base, criminal, they are known to have here ardent affection, passionate, enthusiastic affection, love for living creatures and objects. Whether you're mean and criminal, vile, we still find the characteristics of love in those people. They have love for their cat or their dog or their things. And this is the evidence that regardless of who you are, this is who you are. Born from love, live with love. It's time to show who you are. Love. Okay, let's continue. Still law of love in chapter 9 here. And this is the part that I really want to drill home. We touched on this a few times. This sentiment is resistant to all attempts to diminish it. It doesn't matter what you try to bring at it. You can't crush it. You can't hurt it. You can't displace it. It can't be taken away, burned, erased. It's love. You can't do anything with it. You can't harm it. You can't destroy it. You can't hinder it. You can't do anything. Because why? It's love. It's the most prominent power that we've learned. We also learned that frequently, just because of the acts of love and the components and the characteristics of love, there's a huge, sublime properties that fly off of this as you act, think, and do in accordance with love and characteristics and attributes of love, including simple kindness. So let's keep going. And we're finishing up here still on law of love number 9, chapter 9. The speaker here and the Spirit, the High Spirit giving this feedback, talks about, hey, look, I've used this word about affection to living creatures and some objects. And now let's talk about, there's a little contrast here coming up on what it is you should be doing with love. So we're going to get into that right now, or what you should not be doing and why. Affection for and love for living creatures and objects. Okay, we know it exists. Because amongst you there are individuals whose hearts are overflowing with love. Wow, great. However, they expend a wealth of this energy and this time and this love on animals or plants or material things. Now, we can already think to ourselves, wow, there's a lot more things you can do. There's living, conscious beings here that all need help too. So let's dig down a little bit deeper, okay? And we're going to understand how this is impacting, not in a positive way, the gift of love. So while these individuals, are complaining to themselves about humanity, and hence the why they don't put a lot of stock in humanity, and they have their love focused on animals, plants, or things, complaining about humanity in general, resisting, going against their natural inclinations of their soul, of their spirit, of their self, going against what their self is made of, okay? They reduce the law of love for themselves to instinct, care over an animal or an object. So they've kind of we've missed it. I don't want to be this. Nobody wants to be this. So if you see something like this, help them understand that they can apply this love, this energy, to themselves, to others, not just the animals or the objects or the plants. And so it's like they lost the whole gift. They lost the opportunity of the gift. If you're caught up in this, reducing the law of love to the condition of instinct, because your love is directed only towards plants or animals or things. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot to love that we just don't really think about every day, and this is probably good. So this is the part where I was talking about, let's think a little deeper, let's go a little broader, let's explore a little bit more. And this is what we're talking about. So let's bring it up. So let's talk about a couple other words that were in that short list earlier. Again, just some ideas and characteristics of love, acting love and thinking and doing, in loving, kind and compassionate and charitable ways that we can act, think, and do. Benevolence. So goodwill, friendly, helping others, charitable. Okay? I'm just reading through some of the highlighted words here. Giving to others. Okay, so that's benevolence. Beneficence. So this is an action that can be taken towards others, and if you have beneficent actions can be taken to help or prevent harm, or simply to improve the situation of others, so helping others. And this is the big deal, because what we've also learned through the study of Spiritism is that we have a duty to help each other. If we see someone, especially in harm, and we have the ability to intervene and help relieve the harm, whatever it is. I'm not going to get into some use case here, but we have a duty to do that. If we see that and we recognize, we're scared or in fear, maybe you're let off the hook. But we have a duty to try to help reduce the harm. In fact, if we have a point system here, we get points for doing it and points for not. We're going to lose points for not doing it because our duty is to do it. Because remember, when you transfer to the spirit world and you lose this body, and you're still you there, okay, we understand this, they're going to ask, hey, where's your wallet? Your wallet is in your heart, and the things you did and did not do, right? So keep in mind, these things that we should do, but there's things we are supposed to do, not should do or maybe could do. It's our duty to do and act in a way to help others, and especially if we can relieve harm. Also a duty. So sorry to digress there. Let's keep going. Beneficence. Here's from the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 13. The act of beneficence in this world, my friends, gives you a great happiness of the heart. Okay, so we know that by acting with the characteristics of love, by being loving and using characteristics of love, beneficence, kindness, and so forth, we become happy and charged with love and happiness. So it provides us that. And let's go back to what we talked about before. Let's just look at it. And it's pure, it's delightful, right? And this is what we're seeing here in the message. And it neither remorse nor indifference can perturb. So there's no guilt, no uncaring, and it can't be harmed. It wouldn't matter. This is, again, what we were talking about earlier. It's an act of love. Kindness, beneficence, charity, they're acts of love, and they can't be disturbed. Let's put it in a little plain English here. In other words, you can't affect the purity of love and its divine qualities. Acts of love in all its various forms. All the various forms are just other forms of love. And this is how we're showing that love is many things within itself. Can never be disturbed. Okay, let's continue. And this is what I was going to do a wrap around. We just talked again, can't be disturbed. Let's just do the quick reminder. Again, in the law of love, back to other messages coming forward in a different chapter, resistant to all attempts to diminish it. Okay, so here's another thing. Don't get discouraged. So maybe you did an act, doing acts and not even letting anybody know what's happening, even keep it that way. You don't have to tell the world that you did something good. But the point is, so if you contributed in an act of kindness or love and charity and compassion, whatever the things you do in your regular life, and you think like, wow, they didn't even notice. God noticed. The world noticed. The atmosphere changed. The energy in the room is different because of what you did. It's a big deal. Okay. And if somebody was to, bring some, unpleasant, energy towards that or try to combat that and said it was terrible, whatever it was, and it was an act of love, it couldn't be harmed. It can't be harmed. This is the message. So don't get discouraged if you don't see an immediate response or some immediate reaction by the person you helped. It will propagate, and it will be received, and it will take, and it is out there, and it is seen by you and by God. Because when you continue to live your life, your score is held by God, not by the guy that you helped. Your wallet, when you transfer over, is what neighborhood you get to go to and continue to develop yourself, is the wallet here in your heart that you're going to cross over with in the things that you did, not the things that you bought or that you have or you acquired. So, now that we're clear about that, let's go back to the list. Kindness, compassion, charity, empathy, benevolence, cooperation, tolerance. So we're starting to understand, wow, you know what? I do these things. I don't have some Gandhi, mastery and all these things, and have all this crazy elevation for me to act in accordance with love, which is who I am, who I'm born from, who I am inside, and what I'm supposed to be delivering outward. What I'm supposed to be delivering outward is all of me, which is in me. And the part we struggle with on this planet as we're learning is we're caught up in all this activity out here we see and forget that inside is pure, untainted flame of love. And we all have it. Charity. So we know charity is a characteristic of love. Charity is gentle and compassionate. You often see those together, of course, because the manner of practicing kindness is as important as the deed itself. So again, if you're going to do something earnest and useful, make it be real, so that it is truly an act of love and charity. A service, when gracefully rendered, has twice the merit. So look, you get double credits now, okay? You get double credits by meaning it and not wanting anything in return. Okay, that's good. Maybe you get triple credits if you make sure nobody sees you, all right? It's not about them. It's about you and your growth, right? And then you're being recorded. Let's say you're being recorded in everything you think, say, and do. It's really for you. You can go as fast or slow as you want to elevate to a happy place, and a happy world, and a happy planet, where there's love everywhere. And you can go as fast or slow as you want. But again, we're learning the tools, the ideals, and the way to conduct ourselves to help us do that. And love is the strongest method. The characteristics of love is tools to get it done. As you can see, charity and compassion often go hand in hand. And let's make no mistake about it, when you're being useful, we talked about this a second ago, be true. Make sure it's a true act of kindness and not some mechanical, meaningless chore of gestures. Because you, not only will you not be recognized for that, you'll probably get negative scoring because you're just not there. You're pretending to be there. You're pretending to care. It's not true. It's not real. So great. If you want to do that, then your progress of elevation and your progress to being happy, to get to the happy place where there's not a lot of turmoil and chaos and the things happening, it's a longer trip. It's your call. It's your choice. But use the tools we have. Understand how they interact. Understand we can make this a regular part of our life. Okay, so let's take a little cartoon here. We take a look. Is it right? Is it correct, to remain ignorant? Hobbes and Shaw here. I don't know, but I refuse to find out. So, you apply your focus on your efforts of development. And here's the thing. You can choose to ignore, you can choose to engage. You can always have a choice to grow, and you always have a choice to idle. It's your choice. Choose wisely. Remember, it's a longer trip, right? If you want to drive from here to New York, but if you do something that's not quite right, here to New York, the trip is going to be getting even longer. You think you're halfway and you're only 5%. You're like, man, what happened? Well, make better choices. So let's move on. So, okay, there's some other ways we can do about this. Meditate, do I have to do it this way or do it that way? You do it your way. You do it your way is different from your way. It's different from mine. I'm doing it my way. Right? You do it your way. You like your way better? Yeah, of course. So stick with your way. Find the tools and techniques that work for you. Right? I started meditating. I couldn't sit still for 3 minutes. I'm up to like 9 or 10 minutes now. One time I was into 15 and 20. I just got lost. I fell asleep. I was in La La Land, still sitting up like this. It took a few months for me to get to that point, but it was amazing. And if I don't do it regularly, I get back and I can only get 5 or 10 minutes in because I'm a little fidget. That's my way. I know that if I practice, I can get there. But at least if I can get my 5 or 10 minutes, I'm happy. I get my quiet time. I shut down my brain. I receive my download. I can, recharge or whatever these things are for you. So in the graphic here, here's a guy who's getting all silly and kooky. That's his way to chill. And the other one, he's probably half asleep. He's, and he's chilling. So your way is the way to have your harmony. Okay? That's what you do. Find it for you. If you see somebody's technique, oh, that's interesting, let me try it. Okay, try it. But if you don't like it, let it be. Find what works for you. And so there's something here that's coming up that I want to, purposely tie into. It's your job to be in harmony with yourself and be in love with yourself. And harmony helps you, kind of slow down a little bit and cooperate. Remember that word? With the rest of the world and the rest of us and the things around you and everything. So we all, look, harmony with yourself. So we all, humanity, all of humanity. How's this? But let's start this idea. All of humanity can be in harmony. So I have to be in harmony. I can learn to be in harmony so that, for myself, and so that the whole rest of you can be? Wow. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I have this right. So the rest of the world can be in harmony once I am. I affect the world. This is a big deal. Let's keep going. Let's understand what this means. And let's talk about harmony for a second and kind of find some ways to navigate that. So leaving harmony, bringing harmony into our lives, it can allow us, to have the love shine through because we're more at peace. We're more objective. We're more, cooperative. We're present, right? And so when those kind of things happening, and we're here and we're observing and interacting and kind of analyzing and we're present. things can shine through, love can shine through because that's who we are. It's inside of us. We even talked about, the vile and bad criminals, and they have love inside, and they prove it because of the way they love their animals. So we can't run from this. We all have the same fire of love in our hearts. Remember that. So we can remove obstacles, blocks, and we can stop focusing on these outer attentions. So find out for you, things that you can, navigate your way with so that you can, exercise and act in accordance with characteristics of love. And so, just remember here, these are just reminders that, you're not this outer stuff flying around here. You're not your human self. This is a body that, you have, and you're going through this life to learn a lot of stuff. It's not yours. Yours is what's animating the body and the spirit and the love of God. Your true self is not your human experience. This is your human experience, but it's not the you who you are, if I'm saying that right. So find out how you can remind yourself of those things and, tone it down a little bit. If you're caught up, your mind is full and racing with all these different ideas, slow it down a little bit and try to get in touch with where you are, who you are, your present, things around you, whatever you're working on, whatever you're reading, whatever you're watching, your friends, your family, dinner table, and enjoy that and be part of that from the inside of who you are, not from the stuff happening outside and the gossips and that kind of thing. So find your way into that, your way, what works for you. So we're talking about this, your true self, your inner self, your spirit is the you, is your light of love. Well, this is just a big circle, isn't it? So this is where your power lies. This is where your love is. This is where your love and your life stems from, born from, resides. Your inner self is where you'll find the place to harmonize, because this is where the true love of you, in you, is you, resides. Okay. I'm going to make a poem out of that one. Okay, let's keep going. Love and its various forms. Charity. Gospel chapter 13 synthesizes all the virtues. So charity is huge, right? Charity is absolutely huge because it's telling us here through this study that, all the other virtues are like combined into charity. Okay? And so as you act in this, giving to others unselfishly, not want anything in return, and if they don't have to see you doing it so you get praise and all these kind of things, that's real stuff. And it just grows the fire in your heart and others. And then anybody that witnesses, it grows. Degrees, 3 degrees, 7 degrees of separation, whatever that may be. And it just continues. But let's see something that's happening here. More of the study we're starting to circle around, but the same things we're talking about in the characteristics of love, what we talked about a minute ago, that as I harmonize, as I balance myself, and I'm giving that to the world, and as I love myself, and I'm giving that to the world, then the world can be loving and balanced. This is what we talked about a minute ago. We're using harmony and humanity in that sentence. Read this. Charity. It is you, me, and you, all of us, who will conduct all peoples of the world towards happiness. Seriously, think deeper. I will conduct all people towards happiness. You and you and you will conduct all people of the world towards happiness. All people of the world towards happiness. Wow. How do I do that? By the way I act. I can direct them not towards happiness, by the way I act. The same thing we were talking about is I harmonize myself. I'm in harmony and more peace and more loving outward. We know it's loving in. It's getting the loving out that we're working on, right? So it's everywhere, and it's in us on autopilot. We need to do that so that balance and that harmony affects all of humanity, and then humanity can learn the balance and harmony. This is another part of this. Love, Charity. As we do this, myself will be responsible for propagating, and it can reach everyone in the world. So I rely on you, and you rely on me. We rely on each other. And the good news is we all have inside of us the love to do it with. Right? So we can learn the tools, use the tools, and catch ourselves for things that we're not doing on a path of light and love. Take those course corrections that we need to take to get back on the path of light and love in everything we do, because everything we do affects everyone else. We can't talk about it any more than this. That's what we're dealing with. So a nice reminder. I affect the world, the people in this world, by the way I act. And my little grain of sand and all the other ones. So the more we act loving, the faster the world will change, because we're all acting in a path in the direction of the good, the light, the love. Okay, Hobbs and Shaw again. Know that you are a part of a whole. That's what we're talking about right now. And as such, when you love or when you do not love, humanity's progress or the lack thereof is directly affected by the love you give or do not give. It's a big deal. Now that you're in the know, you have a job to do. We all do. We're in the know. Now we have to do what we have to do. We're going to have to do our steps towards love and improvement in love and kindness and charity and compassion and cooperation and tolerance, indulgence, acceptance. We can keep doing this. We have to take our steps because we're affecting everyone else. I want to come back in a few hundred years, and I want to see this place up, and I'll keep my contributions going when I come back. And I'll contribute now, and I'm not perfect, so I'm going to make some mistakes, but I'm going to catch myself, and I'm going to get back on the path, and I'm going to keep fighting for my right to be happy, fighting to propagate love, to be happy, to give love, because that's who I am anyway. I don't know where I messed it up, that I have these ideas and sometimes I get frustrated or mad or whatever it may be. But the point is, if the love's inside of me, I just want that to be there. And I want to be able to show that always. And so that's my goal, that's your goal, that's our goal, is to bring that out. So your choice matters. What you do affects everyone else. So let's find those characteristics of love. Let's think, act, and do in alignment with love. We're all born with a sacred fire, this spark in the bottom of our hearts. Doesn't matter who you are or where you came from, good, bad, or indifferent. It is there. Love one another. That's how we do it. Secret sauce, 3 words. You can't elevate your soul unless you devote yourself to finding a way to love and care. It could be as simple as being kind. And let's have a nice little enlightening clip here about kindness.
The science of kindness. Matter of fact. Like most medical antidepressants, kindness stimulates the production of serotonin. Serotonin heals your wounds, calms you down, and makes you happy. The real kicker? Kindness boosts serotonin in the giver, the receiver, and everyone who witnesses it. Every act of kindness also spreads through 3 degrees of separation. And serotonin is just the beginning. You'll also produce more endorphins, the brain's natural painkiller. Endorphins are 3 times more effective than morphine, and they won't land you in jail. And if that's still not quite enough, being kind produces oxytocin in your system. Oxytocin, the cuddle hormone, promotes social bonding, exerts an immediate calming effect, increases trust and generosity, strengthens the immune system, and boosts virility. I guess they weren't joking when they said, being kind is a good thing. To top it all off, compassionate people also have 2 times the amount of DHEA, which slows down aging, and 23% less cortisol, the infamous stress hormone. With so many benefits, every act of kindness is a healthy one. It's a scientific fact.
Okay. So very good. So, yep. So that's our lesson for tonight. Love one another. Know that you already act in accordance and alignment with love. Know that you exist from love. You have it in with you, whether you're in a good mood or not, whether it's Friday, Monday, or Saturday night. You're in charge to show your love. You're in charge to propagate love through our world so that we can all raise up. I need you. You need me. We need each other to help each other rise up so this whole planet can rise up. And we need to do that one person at a time. Each of us can understand what it is we are, where we're from, and how we can take steps, act, think, and do in accordance with characteristics of love. And today, hopefully we found a few things that we can do that's not that tricky, but it's something we need to work for. So God bless you all, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Here you go, brother.
Hello? Hi. Good evening. So thank you so much, Scott, for talking about love. And so tonight we have some reminders. So if you haven't already, you're probably either watching this on YouTube or Facebook right now. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Broward Spirit Society YouTube page. If you're subscribed, what you can also do is click on the little bell icon, and that way you'll receive the notifications anytime that we go live. So definitely check on the bell, so that way as soon as we go live, you get a notification on your phone or whatever device that you stream with. So also, if you're on Facebook, you can like the Broward Spirit Society Facebook page, but definitely make sure to follow. And that way when we go live on Facebook, you get the notification that Broward Spirit Society is going live. So definitely, if you want to be in the know, check that out. Tuesday night, 7 p.m., our sister Cynthia is still publishing meditations on the Broward Spirit Society YouTube page, guided meditations to help you relax, be calm, shift your attention inwards, and to get to know thyself, as the sage of antiquity once said. Tuesday evenings, 8 p.m., we have In the Realms of Mediumship study group. That's on Zoom. That's in a Zoom call where everybody can participate. So if you want to get information about that, just drop us a comment, get in touch with us. We can get you the Zoom meeting details so you can join. This Saturday, we have Brazilian roasted rib. Just one rib or more ribs? Lots of ribs. I don't know if it's a full rack. Pork or beef?
Yes, it's beef.
It's beef. All right. The other red meat. So that's good. I already placed my order. This is how Broward Spirit Society is maintaining our center during these pandemic times. We still have our rent to pay. We still have to pay our electricity, but we're doing that by selling food on Saturdays with our food drive. So also with our yard sale. So between the yard sale and the food drive, that's how we're paying our rent right now. So get in touch with us. There should be a phone number here. Call, text, and place your order. Make sure to place your order by Friday at the latest. As early as possible is better. So that way they can make sure to have it ready on Saturday. You come in on Saturday here at the center between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. We have contactless delivery, and just come in and knock on the door, and then we'll hook you up. So that's Brazilian roasted rib with vegetables. It's gonna be good. I know it. I can't stress it enough. Also, we have tropical mousse with pineapple and coconut. So this is on fire. That's gonna wake up all your chakras. Trust me. It's good for you. So that's our announcements. We're gonna just end with a short prayer. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Scott, again, for speaking for us. We appreciate it. In these times when, nothing is normal, we're kind of like used to it not being normal by now, right? It's been a good 6-7 months. So, right here you go. So, for wherever you are, if you happen to be among the very small socially distant crowd here at the Broward Spirit Society Center, if you're at home watching from Facebook or YouTube, from here in Florida or around the world, join us for a moment. Let's shift our attention inwards. Let's shift our attention away from the outside world, from the busyness of the day. Let's shake the dust off and let everything settle. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And when you're breathing out, let go of everything. Let go of everything that happened today. Let go of everything that happened before you got here. Let go of the past. Let go of the future. And just focus on this present moment. The past is history. The future is a mystery. Since all we really have is the present. It's the only thing we really have. So we want to ask our mentors, our guides, to be with us as we take the words that we heard tonight in this talk, that we can take them with us as we go from here. That they will not be empty words. They will not be like the seeds that were thrown upon the rocks that never grew roots. These will be good seeds that are planted in fertile soil that can grow deep roots within our hearts. And these roots can grow, and every day we cultivate these seeds. Every day through our actions, through every act of love we share with everyone we meet, from the strangers we meet on the street to our co-workers, our friends, our family, the people that we see every day. Sometimes the people that we see the most are the ones that we appreciate the least. Let's just take a moment and remember to act every action with love. We can follow in the footsteps of our Master Jesus, who showed us the best example of how to love one another, how to put the needs of other people ahead of our own wants and needs. When Jesus showed us that this little temporary suffering we have here on this planet Earth is so little compared to the eternity of happiness awaiting for us. May we always keep our eyes focused on the spirit life. May we always focus on what really matters, on the things that we can take with us when we pass on to the next world. Our virtues, our patience, kindness, humility, faith, charity, and love. At the very least, we can act with benevolence and tolerance towards the people that we see. So may we carry the light with us so everyone can see our light, not through our words, but through our actions. They can see that we carry the light within us. And let each one of us be a point of light wherever we are, here in Pompano Beach or around the globe. May we all carry the light. May all of our light shine. We thank you, Master Jesus, for the example you set for us. We thank you for your inspiration. We thank you for your guidance and your motivation. And with that, our work for tonight is finished. Thank you, and so be it.